fantastic session. In this segment, we have Nuray Gurtekin Sen, who is the Head of Business Excellence and Operational Transformation at Siemens Financial Services in Americas. Nuray, yeah, go ahead. Thank you. Prior to that, she had global process quality strategic management programs, PMO function lead roles for more than 7 years in Siemens corporate technology research in digitalization and automation. Nuray acts as an internal consultant for Siemens Global senior executives on process design and improvement, change management, and business transformation programs. So now you're talking about a thought leader and a practitioner all in one. So Nuray, what a true privilege. Thank you so much for being with us and sharing your experience today.
Thank you for the invitation and giving me the chance as well, Jose. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Today, I will share one of my experience in Siemens Financial Services as a lessons learned. Actually, we learned a lot from this experience, and I'm glad to share what we learned from one of the complex post-migration projects, how we try to stabilize and remediate the entire system, and most importantly, what we learned and how we will move forward. Today, I will share this experience with you. So, as I try to explain it at the beginning, I split my presentation into 3 key pieces. First, I would like to share with you our key business problems at a high-level overview and what led us to move forward on planning, stabilization, and remediation program. And then I would like to give you a high-level structure that what we have achieved today, and last, how we will move forward on the long run. But before the presentation, I would like to start with SFS introduction. Siemens Financial Services is one of the Siemens service company that is serving cross-functionally all Siemens operating companies and strategic companies cross-functionally. From smart infrastructure to industrial digital industries, and Siemens Energy to mobility and healthcare organization is providing cross-functional services on the financial area. Siemens Financial Services has been established around 1997 in order to provide B2B business financial services. In a nutshell, organization is mainly focusing on 3 key value propositions. Siemens Financial Services is strongly contributing to Siemens other products and business as a financial service provider. Also, besides Siemens companies, organization is also providing financial support, financial services to third parties in order to diversify the portfolio and minimize the risk and leverage the scalability. And as a third component, key value proposition, we can see SFS employees' expertise and know-how, which can bring mainly to all Siemens units on the risk management side, on portfolio management risk, and on the banking standard risk side. So when you look at the overall business units and the entities, Siemens Financial Services is all around the world. There are so many different presences in different organizations with different entities. But on the core, Siemens Financial Services is providing equipment and technology finance, working capital finance, project and structured finance, corporate lending, and financial advisory services to both Siemens and non-Siemens customers. And this is our presence, global presence. We have very strong portfolio in Americas. We have offices all around in Europe, Africa, Middle East, Asia, and Australia. After this short introduction of the company, I would like to start to walk through together with you in our journey. It's a real journey because for me, my journey at least started 8 months ago after my transfer from corporate technology to Siemens Financial Services, and since then, step by step, we walk through and work on the stabilization and remediation of one of the complex and problematic migration project experience. So what was our key problem that we focused or we faced during the post-migration time period? First of all, we have significantly unhappy internal and external customers. Due to instability in the on the operation system, every day we have to deal with another fire drill. And these fire drills were organized based on the problem when it has happened, when it has occurred. Our available task force or groups were attacking to the problem, but these are short-term fixes. In this environment, also there were so many unclarities between roles and responsibilities, and this complexity on the governance were also reflected in the communication and alignment as well. One of the core gap in this deployment was process management piece. Unfortunately, integrated system dictated operation to walk through and manage its processes instead of integrating organization current processes into system. So the system had been designed totally in other way around, and because system brought new processes and these processes have not been known and operated in the organization, overall system has been disrupted and broken in different layers. All these fire drill activities, upcoming new problems created several parallel initiatives. But all these initiatives, as I mentioned earlier, were not planned in a structured way, and we didn't know who were attacking to which activity or which project or which problem. And due to complexity in the governance side, it wasn't well managed and operated. The other thing is, due to daily fire drills, we, as an organization, couldn't focus on the long-term solutions because all available resources were focusing on fixing the urgent stuff. But fixing problems caused another issues because we have seen when we analyzed the ticket system, I will mention later, we have seen several repetitive tickets due to lack of focusing on the root causes and focusing much more on short-term solutions. And last and actually extremely important factor was lack of the performance management. We had ticket system, we had some set of data, but we were not actively monitoring and transparently sharing the results of the tickets. That's why we didn't know it was so blurry and gray in terms of managing all these tickets and understanding the status of the ticket and the resolution behind. So simply, if I simplify the situation, I can explain the situation in this way. We have several change requests and incidents. We didn't have clear processes, roles, responsibilities, and overall, and daily fire drills distracted a lot to understand the main problems and providing long-term solutions. After I involved in the organization and analyzed the tickets at high level, and started to dive deep on the root cause analysis, I realized that our current tickets were not actually representing the core problems, the root causes, and I couldn't see the direct correlation between the existing tickets, what we are attacking in the daily fire drills, but actually what were the key problems behind. So in order to understand where we are, what are the hidden risks, underlying risks, which we don't know today, but something can come up tomorrow, we said that we need different analysis. We need to change our mood in the resolution of the tickets, resolution of the problems, and we really need to know what we don't know today. Everything is all about risk management, and we need to really understand the main areas. So, in order to solve these problems, we listed 8 key areas. Immediately, we prioritize our tickets in the system. I'm talking about quite a number of tickets. We established a cockpit structure in Tableau in BI tool, and dynamically and on time, we started to show the status of the ticket for the users and our internal customers. We describe high level but lean, but at the same time good enough governance model. We immediately released this process. We describe roles, responsibilities, process itself, communication model, and key metrics that how we will measure the system performance overall. Instead of attacking daily fire drills, we structured all these activities. We focused on, we split the root cause analysis topics as a focus group workshops. We planned in a short-term sprints as kind of 2 weeks or 3 weeks sprints for the fire drill activities. And also we integrated control design, batch controlling, interface controlling, preventive controlling, or ITGC, IT controlling, governance control structure into all these projects. Other key activity is process management. We by heart know that process should come first, but unfortunately the system couldn't design based on the operational processes. We immediately started to use our current processes as is processes during this focus workshops. So we started to prioritize because we didn't have so much capacity to focus on all this stuff. We prioritized them, and based on the problematic area, we started to map our value streams. Meantime, we realized that change management and user adoption are critically important, and we didn't have good training materials, and we needed to update some of the trainings based on the changes in the system. We prepared in parallel all these handbooks. And last and most importantly, particularly today's topic, is that we decided that we need a roadmap. We need to understand that how we can stabilize and remediate the system. So, because I knew that the capacity was is limited still in the organization, I proposed to our management to bring external eyes, external experience, particularly on financing and servicing side on lease operation, and work us together to prepare our recipe, to be honest, in order to stabilize and remediate the system. And then I started to work with them. In the next 2 stages, I will explain what we worked with Accenture, what were the key steps we followed during the definition of this stabilization and remediation projects, and what is our next. Let me start quickly with the structure on the stabilization and remediation. As I mentioned, I will provide you a high level, our scope and our approach. Then I will walk through with you that how we consolidated all this data and how this data told us that what we need to do. Let me start with the high-level project framework. In the stabilization and remediation project, we said that we need to attack two things. One is immediately we need to stabilize the system, but at the same time we need to complete some foundational gaps in the system. In order to capture all this information, we agreed that we need to look at all tickets, all aging tickets, open tickets, closed tickets, everything, and understand the structural foundation in terms of solution design, functional structuring, technical architecture view, data management, data architectural structure, interface and batch monitoring system, and overall project management and project lifecycle views. Our approach had been described into 4 key areas. Number one, we know that we need to immediately analyze our current tickets, because tickets will tell us some of the stories, some piece of stories. We need to prioritize these tickets. We need to check the repetitive activities and consolidate the findings in a project language. As a third step, we decided to dive deep on the ticket analysis in terms of solution design, technical architecture and data management view, interface management structure, project management, and overall program management structure, including lifecycle and release management. And at the end, our key roadmap study concluded with should consolidate key stabilization and remediation activities. These listed projects also have to be addressed with detailed tasks, detailed action items, and corresponding global templates, best practices. So, under this approach, this framework, we started to work with Accenture. And we said that process is first. Whatever we have to establish in the system and based on the improvement, based on the stabilization, we should start to analyze the process and understand the process requirements. And then look at the system requirements, business requirements, and check the current existing system features. Look at the data flow, look at the data management view, look at the data governance structure, master data management views, reporting view in order to support, to monitor system performance and overall project governance. And we added into this view the solution part and a methodology. After we will understand the processes, current process, future process structure, the gaps in the system, we have to review our current solution design, and we have to improve it. On the methodology side, we agreed that we need robust project management system and methodology to move forward. This view is showing actually or representing the summary of what I have mentioned till now with a different view. As I mentioned, we need to first understand what we have, what is our findings. Findings has to come from CRs, has to come from process analysis and data analysis. And then after, we have to consolidate all this data flow to understand the root causes and consolidate recommendations. Accenture team, together with us, followed all these stages and provided us at the end 18 projects, 18 stabilization and remediation projects. But how they did this? In the analysis part, I'm sorry, let me change the screen view. On the CR analysis side, we focus on different dimensions on the tickets. We look at the CRs per process, based on the root causes type, root cause itself. We look at the trends based on the level 3 processes. We look at the growing trends. We look at the besides functional requirements. We also check non-functional tickets and how they are correlated with each other. Outcome analysis, and we look at the heat map. And based on this analysis, we concluded a couple of key outcomes. We found out a couple of key outcomes, and they helped us a lot in order to define stabilization and remediation projects. First of all, we check OCRs and incidents in our population, in our analysis. And together with team, I will show you in the coming slides, we mapped entire processes in level 1, level 2, level 3, and then understood, analyzed the data based on the most affected part across the defined root causes. And we have found out that accounting, servicing, closing, and cash management processes were affected significantly from this instability. Our root causes have been consolidated in 7 or 8 areas, but these are top 4 key root causes. Configuration issues or unavailability of the functionality side, data management, calculation, and interface management were our key root causes on the problem area. And all these problems have been addressed in top 4 projects: data management, GL entries, and the accounting side, onboarding, and period closure together with GL entries became our other project. On the process analysis side, we said that processes are, we have to bring process-based approach. In order to do that, we established the process management structure. We used value stream mapping, but it has been extended version because we didn't only focus on the activity versus user or responsible part. We also added systems and data flow into our workflow. And also we added some of the quality gates, control points in the workflow. At the end, we describe our level 1, level 2, and level 3 processes. This is Siemens language, but actually it's a cascaded view of the processes. After we mapped processes, we mapped level concept. We focused on some of the problematic areas, level 4 process maps. And after the analysis, all these processes and change requests, we together with Accenture, we categorize our root causes within this 6 core areas: configuration, software configuration, calculation, software usability, functionality issues, data integration issue, and release quality have been described as our key root causes. And all these root causes have been connected or linked with 6 foundational areas: process and operating model, data management, business requirements, solution design and architect, development testing, and user adoption is change management piece. So based on this analysis and findings, Accenture team, project team recommended us some set of activities, and these actions have been consolidated within 18 projects. I will show you these projects later, but I also would like to show you one of other key learnings. Accenture team also provided us a market perspective on equipment finance system architecture, because we had some architectural, we need some architectural improvements as well. So we look at our system and we look at the common benchmarking views. And one of the key findings, for example, in our system is that we had so many point-to-point interfaces. These point-to-point interfaces created us so many interface management and batch monitoring issues. At the end, as a summary, we together with the team, my team and the core Accenture project team, describe this view as a final structure for our process and project lifecycle model. In the model, everything will start with the processes. We will integrate data management and through analysis of the process requirements. I'm simplifying, there are so many details, but we don't have so much time to share the details. Based on the current as process analysis, we designed a system to define all the requirements. and then after check the system based on the predefined specifications and the features, whether system has these features or not. For the gaps, we decided to add new tickets in the system and change the release concept from ticket-based release to version-based release. So it's a big change for us. And also we realized that our test management system should be enhanced, and integration of regression testing, end-to-end testing, even automation of some of the areas were crucial, and we decided to enhance this area too. And on the cross-functional area, reporting team, we have currently a reporting work stream. Reporting team will support cross-functional all these activities, and user adoption will enhance the change management. In this exercise, we are calling phase 1 for this roadmap definition and project definition. We also realized that there are some missing roles, like data architect, data steward, process manager has it, but we have to focus on much more on the future state design. This is project engineering much more. Testing manager. These were some typical missing roles. We realized that, and during this time period, we are also trying to fill these gaps in the organization. And at the end, organization, after analysis of the entire program, Accenture used prioritization methodology based on the common findings, and we prioritized the findings and consolidated these findings into 18 buckets, 18 projects, and evaluate this list by using impact and priority analysis. And at the end, we agreed that we need to attack on 6 servicing projects and 5 financing projects. But cross-functionally, we also listed 6 areas as a foundational area. This foundational area will work across all these projects. How we will move forward? Let me summarize what I presented till now, and you will easily connect the dots on the flow. Whatever I presented till now, which is stabilization and remediation roadmap activity, is described as system integration approach. This is called phase 1. We completed this phase 1 activity between March and May. This was 6 weeks engagement. In this engagement, as I mentioned, we described this 18 financing, servicing, and foundational projects. We are right now in phase 2 because these findings, this framework has been well accepted by a global leadership team. By the way, this project seems a local project, US project, but actually it is not, it's a global project. The reason is that US has been selected as a pilot country, as a first country. After us, Spain, France, or other countries are on the line for this significant change in the contract management system. So this view, this structured view, has been selected also good practice across the organization in SFS, and they agreed to move forward on execution of this 18 selected listed project. Now I'm in phase 2 in order to plan these 18 projects in detail, because it's highly complex and it requires so much contribution and involvement effort. On the phase 3, this is our next step. We will integrate this green model, the box, into orange workflow: process mapping, requirements design, solution design, development, and testing. Actually, this is a typical PDLC product development lifecycle structure, but we integrated the structure is the combination of Not a full agile, but as the combination of waterfall and agile structure. I will show it to you. The end goal or the main objective of phase 3 is to, of course, execute these 18 projects and stabilize the system. As I mentioned, our aim right now, we are working on it currently, to transfer or translate this model into typical PDLC workflow. What I'm talking about, for all finance and servicing projects, we agreed to walk through this process structure. We will first look at our process maps. We will document our current processes for entire end-to-end operations and describe our financial regression test cases. And then we will dive deep on the requirement analysis, but this requirement analysis will be done process-based, not only evaluating or considering the existing system requirements. After we will complete process-based requirement documents, we will move to solution design stage. In the solution design stage, we will discuss future state processes, and based on future state processes, we will describe our specifications. We will also understand the gap fit between the current system and our future state. And then we will describe functional and non-functional specifications, test cases, and overall system design will be completed. Then development stage will start. We are working with a vendor. We are working in this planning also closely with them. After entire system and infrastructure coding has been completed, we will move to testing, and all UAT tests, system test, integration, regression tests will be complete, and we will hand over the project to the operation team. We are in the phase 2, as I mentioned. I'm in the planning phase. Step by step, we are working from high-level scope definition, again, high-level requirement definition, to solution and effort estimation. We have already completed solution effort estimation yesterday. We are working on the project planning and program planning in detail. This is our typical cycle. As I mentioned, we will follow PDLC, typical product development lifecycle flow, but also we have to agile in the common sprints. This is a typical sprint and the estimated effort for the generic projects. But for each project, we are customizing this timeline. This is a typical flow or plan, but we are right now working on the customization side. So at the end, I can share with you within this experience a couple of key takeaways, our learnings, and I'm hoping that these learnings will help you for your future development, future product integration, or current running projects. Number one, process should be evaluated as a first priority. Unfortunately, our system has not been described or designed based on our processes. We just use integrate the existing provided software as a service solution into our system. It was one of the key gaps that where we are today and why system is broken in several layers. Second approach is governance model. You need, in any of the system integration, organization, project team, PMO should describe a robust governance model. In this model, the key principles, roles, responsibilities, risk structure, communication pattern, all these monitoring and dashboard system should be described and established before project starts. Communication and alignment is another our key takeaways. We had several communication channels. We had some alignments, but they were not planned. We describe in this governance that which meetings or which environments are decision-making platforms, which platforms are used for just status updates, or how we can, in which layer, in which level, we have to align with whom. Who are the decision makers, who are the reviewers, who are the approvers. So the design of, during the design of the project and during the project planning phase, communication and alignment context should be evaluated and designed well. Fourth, context is actually covering the entire one from my perspective, system integrator role. Whatever the tool has to be integrated into organization, you need system integrators, because system integrators will help you, or in your organization, you need to assign somebody as a system integrator to bring all these components, process management component, data management component, test management component, entire project lifecycle component, release management component. And in that level, this role should consolidate all these informations and all these activities and process steps and walk through in the deployment together with the assigned team. So in a nutshell, where we are today in the integration part, which I try to summarize you, and our lessons learned until now. At least, even though we couldn't complete the entire project, I can tell you that we have currently significant progress on closing the tickets. We closed maybe more than 70% of open tickets right now. But we know that we have to focus on the execution of these 18 projects and stabilize. We believe that stabilization will come after we will have robust foundational processes, framework structure with well-designed organization. Meantime, I couldn't show you the organizational changes due to some reasons, but also we are not only focusing on the system changes and process improvements. In parallel, we are reshaping our organization based on the project progress. Thank you very much for your time and joining my session. I'm happy to answer your questions.
Nuray, great session. The incredible detail on this journey that is applicable not only to the context of what you show at Siemens, but it's a great example for a lot of the technology implementation discussions we're having throughout this conference. I'm gonna ask you to stop sharing your presentation so that the audience can see just our video in the bigger screen. So you go into the, there we go, you got it. So number of questions here. I'm gonna start with Antonio Urquiza, and Antonio says, hello Nuray, very interesting case study and thanks for sharing it. My question is, to what extent did the team also define the vision and future state enterprise architecture in its 4 typical domains in order to inform the activities on the roadmap? So, so the vision, the future state of the enterprise architecture, how much of that was defined by the team versus maybe someone else?
Actually, this is a good point. And in the data management part, this is one of the improvement area. I couldn't provide you the detailed work packages on each project, but data governance, technical architectural view, master data management, strategy behind data management and architecture view are our typical action items. Actually, this is not a local role, this is a global IT role. Just a couple of days ago, we were discussing, for example, code merging. This is all about architectural strategy. That's why I like the question a lot. So I don't want to blame any function or any activities, but this is also another gap in this project. Maybe something has been prepared, but it wasn't visible, and it's not integrated into our practice. That's why I can answer this question that this is in our to-do list.
Very good, very good. The next question comes from Anna Martinez. And Anna says, great presentation, very well organized project. Thank you for sharing that. Her question is, how long did it take you to collect all the data and project justification? And she comments that collecting all the necessary data to get it approved can also become a challenge, keeping teams engaged for an extended period of time. So how did you do that? The data collection, keeping the team engaged as you're going through this process. Talk to us a little bit about that.
Absolutely. It's also another good question. In overall, consolidating the topics and listing 18 projects took 6 weeks. But it was really a heavy plan, I should tell you. It was really extended and facilitated view. In the data analysis, we have ticket system. In the system, you can easily generate the data. We just collect it and dump all this data to our BI tool. Accenture was using Microsoft BI tool, Power BI, but we have Tableau. First, I used the system, the cockpit in Tableau. When we started to analyze with Accenture, they use Power BI. It didn't take too long. Again, I can tell you 1 to 1.5 weeks is a reasonable time plan. In terms of motivation, energies, keeping them up to date and somehow engaged were the key problems or challenges in this project, I can say. How we did this? Actually, organization is well engaged. They are suffered from all these problems and they really would like to close all these gaps in the system and they would like to stabilize. That's why even from one side, they were frustrated a lot, particularly at the beginning. Right now, they are seeing some light on at the end of the tunnel. They know that the recipe came up right now and we know what we need to do. So they are more happy now compared with the beginning phase. But there are some ways that I used as a program manager that I constantly updated them based on the progress, based on the achievements. Once they saw some small progress and quick wins, we keep continue on the motivation side. And when they started to work with Accenture as a partner, they felt more secure because the team is highly knowledgeable on their subject matter area. They are all subject matter experts. And we quickly integrated them to the organization. And right now I'm thinking that we are in a better shape compared with 6 months.
Very good. Rajesh Gopinathan asks a question here in the right. First of all, he says, great presentation and framework design. And then he asks about a little bit more about the core team. What is your core team like? And specifically a bit more about the strengths that they have and maybe the core expertise that you selected to be part of your core team.
Yes. Okay. We have, first of all, 2 program kind of owners, project owners. I'm leading the entire program, but I have business PM and IT PM at high level. Some of the areas require strong IT integration. I'm representing business, and business PM is much more focusing on business needs, processes, requirements, specifications, and ticket analysis. So this is high level. 1 level down, we have business analysts in our team, IT business analyst and business analysts. On the global area, we have global business analysts. On the global IT side, we have data IT architects, service providers, and we are saying service and solution providers. And it's a typical role in the organization that we are saying chapter leaders for the individual areas like servicing or accounting. Cross-functionally, also we have accounting experts, because at the end of the day, accounting processes are downstream processes. Any of the change in the upstream is impacting the accounting. That's why for each workshop, so each work areas, we have also one dedicated accounting expert. This is our cross-functional SFS organization. On accounting side, Accenture side, we have replicated view for in their side. We have dedicated test management work group lead, data management work group lead, program management work group lead, and process management work group lead. On the financing and service area side, we have subject matter experts. This is our organization. It's highly complex. I didn't count vendors who is providing us this tool. I didn't count also our internal service providers that who are also supporting us other tool integrations. It's the team is more than 100 people, I should say. It's as a local, global, internal and external partners. This is highly complex team, but we are trying to consolidate all the expertise on process, data, test management, release management, and development areas.
Very good. Nuray, as you mentioned, an incredibly complex project, yet an incredible valuable project that you and the team have executed for so many different layers with such a clear structure and approach. And I know that it's messy in the way you actually do it, but the way you present it, and it shows that you're mastering that complexity and you're helping to create value for the organization. That's really terrific. There's one more question for Agatha Hulier here. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so I'll just make her commentary that this was a great presentation. She considers it to be one of the best she has seen so far. So I'm just going to make that comment. And thank you for sharing that journey with us today. It was a real pleasure.
Thank you for the invitation. Thank you so much. It was a great day and great conference.
Thank you very much, Nuray. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this completes this segment, and great presentation from Nuray and what's going on at Siemens with this large system transitions. And this is what we're proud of having these real experts who are not theoretically talking about things, but they're showing you how it's getting done. And to have simplicity, you must master complexity, and that's why you are so important for your organization. You're that leader internally who is going to master that complexity to come up with these simpler solutions to problems. Now, our next speaker will be the Vice President of Wells Fargo, talking to us about digital growth strategies. So I hope to see you back at the top of the hour with the leader from Wells Fargo, and keep the conversation going on LinkedIn. Again, if you have additional questions, post them in there, post your comment. We're gonna get back to you with as many answers as possible. Thank you. See you soon.